Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to learn three key areas. What is sentiment analysis, how LLMs perform sentiment analysis, and how to build an AI agent step by step under 10 minutes without writing a single line of code using make.com. The customer sentiment analysis use case is very useful and relevant right from a very small business to large corporates. The best part is anyone can easily automate this process without writing a single line of code.
Here is the complete use case information of an AI agent that I will be building using make.com. Mrs. Smita, she's running a baking bakery. She makes delicious cakes of different flavors and sizes. She seeks the customer feedback through a Google form, and she wants to build an AI agent to automate some of the below steps which she is currently doing manually. So the first one she expects from AI agent to detect the customer sentiment. So whatever the customer feedback that is received, she wants the AI agent to look at whether the sentiment is positive, neutral, or negative without manually going through the comments. And she also wanted the AI agent to build an auto response and send it to their backend team. And the last step is if the customer feedback is more of a negative, then she wanted a draft email to be built by an AI agent, and it needs to be sent to Mrs. Smita directly so that she will review the response and she will reach out to the customer one on one. Let's understand what is actually a sentiment analysis means. Sentiment analysis is a very simple technique. It identifies or interprets the entire feedback, whatever is received from the customer, and understand the emotions from the feedback or the whatever the comments that are received from the customer. The emotion could be positive and neutral or negative depending on the context of the sentence or the different phrases whatever been used. Here I have shared some examples on how a customer sentiment analysis will be identified as a positive, neutral, or negative, looking into different phrases. LLM or large language models have the necessary capability to perform sentiment analysis. So let's look at step by step on how LLMs would perform sentiment analysis. As a step one, tokenization. So whatever the customer feedback or the sentence that is sent to LLM, what LLM would do, it will break it down into small chunks or small words, or it can be character also, looking at the context of that sentence. And the lowest chunk is called a token. And each token will have a token ID that is assigned in the first step, tokenization step. Then moving to step two, which is understanding the context. So what LLM algorithm or what LLM does by looking into the tokens and its relationship, it will try to find out what is the emotion of that whole sentence or the whole text. And as a step three, whatever emotions that are come up from the step two, it will try to give the probability scoring. Depending on if the emotion is positive, then the positive emotion will have the highest probability. Similarly, if the feedback is more on a neutral or negative, then the probability scoring will be allocated depending on the emotion. Then finally, it returns, the whatever the highest probability emotion is there, the LLM would return that as the final end result. Let's look at this example. Your cakes are delicious with on-time delivery. Assume that this is the customer feedback that is received through Google Form. And what LLM does, it breaks it down the entire sentence into small words, which is called a token. And each token will have a token ID that is assigned. And looking into the whole context, the LLM would assign the probability of different emotions. And then finally, whatever emotion has the highest probability, the LLM would return back. For building the AI agent in make.com, I wanted to briefly explain what are the different modules or components that I would be leveraging or using. As a step one, I will take Google Forms module because I wanted the AI agent to be triggered automatically the moment a customer has submitted their feedback through a Google form. And the next step is make a toolkit. It is a default module that is available in make.com. It has a feature to provide the sentiment or analyzing the sentiment. So I can leverage this component. As an alternative to make AI toolkit, you have multiple other options. One is you can leverage make AI agents module, but you need to provide the complete detailed prompt. Based on the prompting, it will be able to provide the sentiment analysis. The reason why I'm using make AI toolkit, because it has its own feature and it is very easy to plug in and use it for the use case what I will be building. After that, as per the use case, we need an auto response to be sent to Slack Messenger. So this, I'm using a router to perform two different actions. One is sending the email to Mrs. Smita, and another is where I'll be sending the feedback with the sentiment to my backend team using Slack Messenger. Let me start building the AI agent using make.com. So I logged in into make.com. Since I already have my credentials created, I'm able to directly log in into make.com. And while this is loading, I also have the Google form created with very simple fields: customer name, mobile number, email ID, what are the products, and also the customer feedback. So I'll go to scenarios, click on create scenario. The first module I wanted is Google Forms. So let me search for Google Forms, and the trigger is watch responses. So I'm selecting this. Here it asks for the Google connection. Since I already have one, I've selected. If you don't have it, you can add your own new connection. Form ID is nothing but whatever Google form that I have created. In the URL section, you would see a unique form ID that is allocated to each form. So I'm just selecting this whole form ID and just passing it to the Google module. I'm keeping the limit as 2 and just click on save. I wanted any new form that is submitted. So from now on, I'm selecting, click on save. Let me save this scenario as bake-in customer sentiment analysis, and I'm saving the scenario. Let me just run this whole module just to make sure that the connection is established and it is able to recognize the form. So selected, no errors, so far so good. Now I need to bring in the Make AI toolkit with analyzing the sentiment. This is the option I'm choosing. And it will ask for the connection. Since I already have Make AI as a connection that is established, I've selected. I'm keeping the model as small because the use case what we are building is very simple use case. Text to analyze, I need whatever the customer feedback that is submitted through the Google form. I need to pass the customer feedback. That's it. Just click on save. I'm just saving it. Now, as a next step, I also wanted the auto response to be generated by Make AI Toolkit. So I'm selecting Make AI Toolkit, ask anything. So I'm giving the connection as Make AI agent, and model I will continue to small. Under text, I need to pass on the prompt. Since I already have the prompt, let me copy paste. What I'm giving the prompt as: you are a customer sentiment analysis agent. You received the following message from the Bacon Bakery. Whatever message that we received through Google Form, I will pass it here. And I'm giving the step-by-step instructions on what the AI agent needs to do. So let me copy paste this one and pass it under the text section. Here, let me replace to make sure I'm passing the customer feedback that is received. Okay, just saving it. Next, I need to add a router. um, Router with whenever there is a negative feedback that is received, I wanted the AI agent to send an email. So let me just add Gmail, send an email, and I'm selecting my existing connection. I'm keeping the email ID as my own email ID, and subject, I would mention it as a negative feedback received from the customer. And the content, the body type, I'm keeping it as a collection of contents, and body contents, I am using a customized content that I kept it. So I just wanted it in a little formatted way. So I'm passing the customer first name, last name, and also the message, and also whatever the response that is received by the AI agent. Let me copy paste this one. So here I'll make sure I'm passing the right fields. First name, this is the customer name I'm giving it. The message what I received from the customer is the customer feedback, and the response that is provided by the AI agent is this answer. Perfect. Just first all I'm leaving blank because I don't have any attachments or other details. So let me save this one. Save here. Let me add Slack Messenger here. Slack Messenger send message. Since I already have the connection with make.com, I have selected this one. I wanted the channel ID to be selected from the list. So the channel type is public. I'm selecting all make.com. This is the channel what I have it in my Slack Messenger. So I'm selecting the same Slack Messenger text. So I'm copy paste values from the Google form. So I'm selecting the Google form customer name, answers, and value. And again, under the mobile number, also I'm just passing the mobile number. Email ID, I'm just passing the email ID. Similarly, the sentiment has to come from the Make AI toolkit, analyze sentiment. So I'm just passing the sentiment here. And then finally the feedback, again going back to the Google form, answers, value, and the AI agent response, it has to be from the ask anything. So with that, we are done with the complete messenger format that needs to be sent to Slack. I'm clicking on save, save. So we added all necessary modules that are required to build the AI agent. Now I have a scenario as per my use case. If you look at the last step, I wanted AI agent to build a draft email and send it to Mrs. Smita only if it is a negative feedback. So for that, I need to add a filtering criteria here. I'm just adding a filter. Let's say negative feedback. And under the condition, I'm choosing the sentiment. Let me use lower function because irrespective whether it is title case or uppercase, I'm converting that one into a lowercase. Whenever it is equal to negative, I wanted this filter criteria to be satisfied before sending the email. Okay, we're all set. We have the Google form ready here. I can just submit one new response, and we will also be able to see whether the email is received. I also logged into my Slack messenger. You would see that there is a channel allmake.com, and the last message I have it on almost on 4th December. So I'm all set to run the AI agent now. Let's see. Now I'll go to my Google form and let me submit feedback. So I'm giving the customer name as Suresh and mobile number. I'm using my own email ID for now. The product purchased as. So I will use two different feedback. One is a positive feedback, and I will also use a negative feedback to see how AI agent responds. So I'm giving the positive feedback where the cakes are so delicious, and I'm just submitting the form. Now I'll go to make.com, and I already set the run scenario in on-demand state, and I'm activating the scenario. Let me just click on run the scenario. You see that the agent had executed and it is able to get the form whatever we submitted with the name Suresh, and make a toolkit. It is able to generate the sentiment as positive, and this one, let's see what is the response. So since it is positive, it has already provided, yeah, thank you for your kind words. So this is an LLM generated response. And router, if you see, I don't see any response from Gmail because the sentiment is positive and it is not satisfying this criteria. So we don't see any email here. I expect a Slack messenger to go. So let's see what is the messenger that is received. See here, we have whatever feedback been provided. So the sentiment been positive, and this is the feedback information from what we passed it to the messenger. Now let me test the scenario 2. I'll submit one another response as Mike. I'm giving the mobile number. So I'm using same my own email ID. This time I will give a negative feedback and see. I ordered one flavor and you delivered a different flavor. Very disappointing. So this is more of a negative feedback what I'm passing. So I'll just submit the form. The form has been submitted. Again, let me run this scenario to see how AI is in response. So let's look at the sentiment. Yeah, see the sentiment has been given as negative. And also let's look at the response from Make AI Toolkit. See, we apologize for the mix-up. You can arrange a replacement or refund. Please share your order details. Right. So this is the response. And this time you see the Gmail also being sent. So mail with the necessary details. See that, yeah, there was a negative comment from the customer Mike. This is the message, and this is the response generated by the AI agent. So you have seen how easily anyone can build an AI agent with a simple drag and drop with the right modules, little bit of configuration. So it is very easy. You should try building your own use cases. If you like the video, just select like button and also just leave a comment in case of any additional use cases that you want me to build in near future. I'm happy to do that. Thanks for watching.